Okay, peace to everyone out there. Good or happy rising, good afternoon, good evening. This video is for my Nigerians. In this video, I will be telling you why Nigerian doctors need to do better and how they can do better. Okay, so before I get into it, first I'd like to say it's Black History Month in America for those that are in America. So for this month, I am going to be giving you a lot of videos on Black history, tips that Black people can apply to help make us better or help us evolve into a better or evolve from the situation that we're in into something much better. Okay, so for this month, I'm going to try and do a video every day. Okay, so good luck to me. So let's go straight to it. Like I said, this video is for Nigerian doctors and health professionals. So there are 77% of Black doctors that you see in America in a hospital, right? Obviously, where else you gonna see a doctor, right? 77% of Black doctors in America are Nigerians, right? I don't think y'all hear me. Let me act like pastors. You know how they be in church saying, y'all don't hear me though, or you guys don't hear me. Anyway, 77% of Black doctors that you see in a hospital are Nigerians. That's about 4 out of 7 Black doctors you will see are Nigerians. Specifically, Nigerians, not Ghanaians, not Liberians, not Haitians, whatever else, not from Ivory Coast, wherever. Specifically, Nigerians, 4 out of 7, right? Think about how huge that number is. And now, listen to this. If you're Nigerian, I'm almost 100% sure that last year, you heard about somebody in Nigeria dying from some kind of hospital malpractice or something very, very small that could have been avoided if they had the right medication, the right treatment, or the right equipment. I'm almost 100% sure that you heard of that. So now, this is as per the ANPCA, the Associate of Nigerian Physicians in North America. They have over 4,000 members, doctors and health professionals. Okay, now that's just one organization, and a lot of doctors will not sign up for it. So I know for a fact that in America you have over 8,000 doctors or over 8,000 health professionals in general, but I'm almost certain you have over 8,000 doctors. Okay, I can really do the numbers if I needed to, but I'm just going to go based off of one organization which boasts for about 4,000 members. So you have 365 days in a year. You have about 52, 53 weeks in a year approximately, right? Now, the solution to this is, let's say all these doctors, maybe not even all, a good number. Let's work off of, let's say there's 5,000 doctors that are interested in this plan. 5,000 doctors, they come together some way, somehow. They get maybe money from the government or maybe even donations from themselves, because if you convert the currency from America to Nigeria, you know, you have a little bit of an advantage. Let's say they come together and they build some kind of massive hospital. Maybe not even something big. It can even be something small to start. They build a hospital in Nigeria, and now they say something like, or they form some kind of rotation where it's like, okay, 365 days in a year, 52 weeks in a year. For the first week of January 1 through 7, we're going to have 10 doctors fly from America into Nigeria, and they'll be the doctors in charge for that first week. 10. Remember, we're working off of 5,000 doctors. 10 people will come week 1, January 1st to 7. They'll be the doctors on site. They stay in Nigeria for that week. Once they're done with their weekly shift or rotation, they go back, and they can go back to whatever it is that they do in America. The second week, January 7 to 14, another group of 10 doctors come. They do the same thing. Third week, January 14 to 21, another group of 10 doctors come. You have enough doctors to actually make it happen to whereby those doctors are only coming to Nigeria for 1 week, and then they can go back to whatever they do in America in their hospitals or whatever. Yes, obviously they can still come back to Nigeria for their vacations or whatever it is. So that is my suggestion. And if you think about it, imagine the magnitude, imagine just how groundbreaking or how much lives can be saved from doing something that big. Are there good doctors in Nigeria? Obviously they are, but we also know that there have been a lot of malpractices and people that have died from the smallest things. So that is my suggestion. But what happens is, has anybody thought about doing something like that? I highly doubt it. Is there anybody doing it? I doubt that as well, because I would probably know if something like that already existed. You know, but the thing with Nigerians is, we have this mentality of, I'm just going for myself. I'm just worried about me. I'm worried about my family, which is honestly like a sickness, because we're never going to get past where we are if we don't start thinking and caring for people other than just ourselves, right? Nigerians will have this mentality that's almost like a sickness. You know, same thing for when you go to Nigeria. Like, a lot of people are just going for themselves, but that would never move us forward. You know, so am I the one to put this kind of plan together? No, but hopefully you can share this video to the right person, you know, the right doctor, whoever it is that can possibly, hopefully, get something like this running. But usually what happens to Nigerian doctors is, well, with Nigerian doctors is, they get to America, they go through the school, become doctors, they get indoctrinated, they start making money here, and a lot of them forget about home. They forget about home, they don't go back. Right? Oh, I'm not going back, there's no electricity, you know, the water is not clean, the food is not good, I get sick, you know, all these negative things. But you're forgetting the fact that the reason why you are who you are is because of where you come from. Right? And before anybody says something along the lines of, oh, something like that is too big, Nigerians can't come together, something like that would never work, it's easier to be more negative for people. So don't think like that, because I bet a lot of these doctors, when they told people when they were younger, like, hey, I'm going to be a doctor, I bet you people looked at them and say, that's not going to happen. But they did it anyway. Right? So like I was saying, yeah, a lot of Nigerians who get to America, become doctors, go through the indoctrination, forget about home. And what happens when you forget about home? You get disconnected. And some will say, oh, my family members are already here. Why do I care about people that's there? If you're Nigerian, right, you were raised in Nigeria, they say a village raises you, not just your parents. You know, that's a saying, because that was actually the way things were. You know, a society or a village helped raise you. So don't just think, oh, because my family's here, and forget about the people that's back there. You know, so that's my suggestion. But another thing that I wanted to bring up is, visiting back home is extremely important for those that don't, right? I'll give you an example. I had a conversation with my mom a while ago, and let me skip that real quick, and I'll come back to it. Here's what I think Nigerians should also do, and maybe the same thing for other Africans. You know how in America you have clothes that you donate to the Salvation Army and all of these, you know, places? I don't think you should. I think you should pack those clothes up and you need to ship them back home. And here's why. So a while ago, I was younger, dumber, however you want to call it. Anytime I have a shirt, pants, shoes, whatever it is, the moment it had some kind of stain that I feel like could not be washed off, or the moment it ripped a little bit, I would throw it away. Like, oh, you know, I'm good, I'll buy another one. And then my mom saw me doing that, and then she said, what's wrong with you? And I'm like, you know, I'm throwing it away. And she's like, why don't you give it to me so I can take it back home? And I'm like, who's going to want that? It's ripped, that has a stain on it. And then she said, that's what's wrong with you. She said that you haven't been to Nigeria in so long that you've forgotten just what poverty looks like. She's like, if you see people out there, if you see people what they're wearing, you would know that that shirt that you think is trash or garbage, that's somebody's shirt that they're going out with. They're going out tonight. That's somebody's shirt that they'll wear once a month. But when she said that, I hadn't been to Nigeria in about 9-10 years, right? And then the next time I went to Nigeria, I couldn't stomach the kind of poverty that I saw. I couldn't stomach seeing my people go through the things that they were going through, right? So we must remember that something that means so little to you can be so big to someone else. You know, also if you keep in mind in America, some of these people that you're donating to, they have a lot of benefits. They have the health benefits from the government, they have the WIC program, they have the Section 8 housing, they have the subsidized home, the free housing, they have all of those things. So poverty in America is different from what poverty in Nigeria is. So all of those clothing and things that you're giving away here, help out your people back home that can't even get a shirt. There are people wearing a shirt for 2 weeks, 3 weeks straight, right? People wearing the same shirt a year straight. You see them in maybe 2 outfits in a whole year, and that's it. You know, so those are things that we really need to think about. So am I bashing Nigerian doctors? No, I love Nigerian doctors. Nigerian doctors are brilliant, right? It's just a suggestion to make us better. So It's not to make Nigerian doctors feel like, oh man, this guy doesn't know what he's talking about. He's not in the industry. I myself have worked in the hospital industry for about 3 years now, right? And I've seen how much Nigerian doctors that I constantly run into, and I love seeing it, you know. But we can also be doing the same thing for our home. If you think about it, Nigerian doctors, we're here in America, or let me not say we, because I'm not a doctor, right? They're here in America. You're winning all these awards for America, right? You're winning awards for the hospital. You're boosting up the economy. And what happens to these doctors most of the time? Like I said, they don't go back home. Where do they go to spend their money? They go to Europe, they go to Asia, they go to the Middle East. Historically, all of those places have not cared about Africa. They haven't given to Africa, they're taken from Africa. So now look at it, right? We have a continent, or we have our country. We know that our leaders are ignorant. We know that our leaders don't have a backbone. We know that they're corrupted. We know all of these negative things, right? But what can we do for our people? What can we do for ourselves? We know that the higher-ups, there are not a lot of higher-ups. We, the people, are way more than the higher-ups. So if we come together, there's a lot of things and change that we can actually bring. So don't think that it's impossible. It's something that's very, very possible. But other than that, that pretty much sums it up. Like I said, like this video if you think it makes sense, right? Share it to people, share it to the doctors, definitely. You know, I know some people might not share it because, you know, how hard it is to share a video. But if you agree to what I'm saying, and you think that it's something that your country could benefit from, even if you're not from Nigeria, then, you know, you can leave a comment, you can DM me, you can share the video. You know, other than that, like I said, it's Black History Month. I will be coming out with a video every day this month, so wish me luck. But other than that, thank you for watching. Peace. Wait, so I forgot to ask something, right? Now, let's say this hospital gets built. Let me tell you, well, no, let me start over. Let's say this hospital gets built, or when, let me be futuristic and think. When this hospital get built, think about how much other positives can come from it, right? Now look at it like an airport. Whenever an airport is built, in surrounding areas, now you have a lot of businesses, you have hotels, you have restaurants, you have gyms, you have museums, just room for other businesses to come in, right? Now look at that hospital. The hospital gets built. You can build hotels around that area, Airbnbs, apartments, gym, restaurants, galleries, whatever you want to call it. So not only will that hospital bring jobs for people in Nigeria, right? It's the doctors coming in from other countries, right? But it would also bring jobs from people in Nigeria. It will also bring room for the growth of the economy from other businesses in that area, right? So just think about how much that can even change the economy. So when these doctors come in from wherever they're coming from, they can get a hotel to stay that's pretty close to the hospital. So they come in, they do their 1 week shift, and they leave. While they're here for the 1 week, they have restaurants around them, they have gyms, whatever it is that they need to make them feel comfortable, they have it all around that same area. So it's like, if you're the kind of person that, oh, I don't want to be in Nigeria for too long, for whatever reason, you come in, you do your week, you do your addition to society or whatever it is, do your week and leave, right? Am I saying these people aren't going to get paid for it? I don't know. That'd be a decision up to the doctors. Is this something that the government is going to sponsor? Maybe they'll pay them. I don't know. That's something that people that can actually put together can do. I'm like the brain behind it, giving the idea, right? Sometimes when you have an idea, you hire others to help create the whole picture. It's like having a movie idea. Then you hire writers to help, you know, make it actually, make it go into play. Another thing I wanted to add is, if you like the cap or the hat, whatever you want to call it, feel free to go to yearofreturncaps.com. And what else did I forget? I think that should be it. Thank you for watching. Peace.